September 2003. Hurricane Isabel cuts a deadly path up the Atlantic coastline. Maryland declares a state of emergency. In Baltimore, the storm surge ravages neighborhoods, flooding homes with up to 7 feet of water. For Dundalk resident Dawn Burke-Scherzo, it's the beginning of a nightmare without end.
My basement was completely underwater. I had 3 feet of water on the first floor. I had flood insurance, but to my dismay, I found out that the flood insurance didn't cover a whole lot.
As if things weren't tough enough, another storm of problems was about to hit. Recently separated from her then husband, it was all Dawn could do to make ends meet and keep her children in the only home they'd ever known. But then, more trouble.
I fell down the flight of steps carrying a clothes basket and broke my ankle and tore my Achilles tendon. The end result was me losing my job and being unemployed and unable to work the entire summer. And of course, because of that, I was unable to keep the forbearance agreement that I had made with my mortgage company.
Soon, she was late on her bills. Her mortgage. She received notice that her utilities were about to be cut off. Dawn had never been so scared.
Actually, it's like I spent nights as I crying myself to sleep. You know, how was I going to do this? How was I going to keep the house? How was I going to keep the lights on?
Each year, thousands of Marylanders like Dawn struggle to pay their families' energy bills. Without enough money for light and heat, their safety and health are in danger. Fortunately, the Fuel Fund of Maryland is there to help.
The mission of the Fuel Fund is to provide adequate resources to families so that they can meet their home energy needs, and to work collaboratively with other organizations that provide services and financial assistance to help meet the human needs of individuals and families.
Each year, the Fuel Fund of Maryland helps thousands of families from all walks of life, hit hard by circumstance and by chance. Since its founding in 1978, the fund has helped an estimated 125,000 Maryland families, an extraordinary achievement made possible by an extraordinary woman. Her name was Victorine Adams, a compassionate advocate for the underprivileged. She was the driving force behind the creation of the Fuel Fund, the first of its kind in the nation. Today, the vision of Victorine Adams lives on, stronger than ever, helping families in need, like when Dawn and her children faced a crisis like no other, a cutoff notice for her utilities and no money to pay the bill.
The first thing that the Fuel Fund did for me was get an additional extension granted in addition to the time that they had for the turn-off notice, which gave me a little bit more time to come up with the funds. I sat down with a representative from the Community Assistance Network that works with the Fuel Fund, and they were able to take what I paid in the past. They matched those funds 50 cents on a dollar, and then they also gave me a grant, and I was able to start out fresh, with a zero balance.
For tens of thousands of families, the Fuel Fund of Maryland is about more than money. It's about help. It's about hope.
It's surprising to me how much hope we give people. I have gotten cards from individuals who have said, thank you for all you did for me. And sometimes the amount of money that we help the person with is minimal. What the act of helping them did was to give them the courage and the hope to move on with their lives.
The Fuel Fund has been a godsend to me. They were able to give me a help up and not a handout. I wasn't asking for a handout. I didn't want them to give me something. I just needed somebody to step in And, you know, it was like grab me by the hand and pull me back up, and they were ones that did that.